So, earlier this week, a leak started circulating online that caught pretty much everybody off guard, and I'm gonna include myself in it because at first, you wouldn't think that it's real, but the more you start analyzing it, frame by frame, the more it becomes clear that this is actually legit. And of course, we're talking about the alleged opening scene of Toy Story 5, the next installment of the franchise that's coming out this summer. A leaked sequence that, if real, might completely reshape how Pixar approaches this new chapter of the Toy Story franchise. And what makes it so fascinating is that we're not seeing Pixar play with nostalgia, which is exactly what you would expect coming from Toy Story, the 5th installment of a franchise. Many people would see it as a stretch, seeing that the company wants to make money and nothing else. But it doesn't seem like it from the leak. It really looks like they're trying something new and it looks very fresh. And this is basically why everybody who has seen the leak has essentially come to the consensus that it is not fake and it's actual footage from Toy Story 5. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about here in today's video, guys. We're going to be breaking down and delving into the Toy Story 5 opening scene leak that was leaked a couple of days ago and has all the Reddit fans going over it and analyzing it to see if it's actually real. So without further ado, guys, let's just get right into it. So the leak opens up with a wide shot of the ocean at night. There is this huge cargo ship fighting through a storm, waves crashing, lightning's flashing, and then one of the containers breaks loose and falls overboard. No music, no dialogue, just the sound of the wind and metal creaking. We cut to the next morning and the container washes up to a beach. It's quiet, the storm's over, and you just hear seagulls and water hitting the shore. Then the container door slowly creaks open from the inside. Inside, you see rows and rows of Buzz Lightyear toys still sealed in their boxes. The camera moves in and you can tell that it's Pixar lighting, and the animations are so neat that you can actually tell that this is a real leak because it wouldn't make any sense for it to be fake. Then one Buzz twitches and his chest light flickers, he opens his helmet, and suddenly all of them start booting up. They stand up, look around, and start pressing their wrist buttons, trying to contact Start Command. You hear dozens of Buzz voices all talking over each other, the same lines, the same tone, total chaos. And at first it's kind of funny, but then the camera lingers on to Buzz, who just stops talking, and he looks around and you can tell he's realizing that all of these other toys are identical to him. That moment feels heavy, like he's processing the idea that he's not the original one. Then one of the Buzzes says, "We have been abandoned. Mission failure." And here they organize and they treat the island like a base of operations. They even set up a little flag using one of their box inserts as a makeshift mission banner. And it's weirdly serious for Toy Story, especially for the opening scene of this movie. And in retrospect, it almost seems like a WALL-E opening scene. And then the scene cuts and that's it. No Woody, no Jessie, just these stranded Buzz Lightyears trying to figure out what to do next on this stranded island. So now that we have watched the leak, we can situate this in the history of the franchise. In the original Toy Story, Buzz is introduced as the new toy, and his arc revolves around discovering he's not a real space ranger, but an actual toy, and this identity crisis is central to the plotline. In Toy Story 2, 3, and 4, we continue to explore what it means to be a toy, what it means to be loved. Now, the leak puts many Buzzes together, and that seems symbolic more than a random thing. If the original Toy Story movie was about Buzz coming to terms with his toy nature, this apparently might be asking what happens when the hero is not unique, when there are many versions of you, all believing they're the one. That's a dramatic escalation of the identity theme, and it also suggests that the staging and island, lost containers, evokes feelings of abandonment that are really important for us to understand the actual plotline. It suggests that the toys are no longer anchored in the human home as happily as before. Maybe the world of toys is changing, moving, being separated, and it has a lot to do with the villain that we're going to be talking about in a bit right now. The leak aligns with what Pixar has teased, that the movie will examine new toys coming to terms with tech. And one of the major pieces that we know about Toy Story 5 is the villain. The villain is a device called LilyPad. LilyPad is described as being a frog-shaped tablet that becomes the new favorite toy of Bonnie, now growing older. The Toy Story 5 plotline reportedly sets Bonnie, now around 8 years old, with a new favorite player, LilyPad. The threat from LilyPad isn't simply the toy villain attacking our heroes, it's more conceptual. It's the attention of the child shifting from traditional toys toys to digital devices and what it means for the toys. Think of it this way, Lily Pad isn't a toy within the toy kingdom in the same way that Woody and Buzz were. It's a gadget and entry into screenplay into a different dimension of playing. The film is potentially saying the biggest threat to toys is not another toy, but being replaced by tech, which of course we know that it has already happened in the real world. Some sources suggest that LilyPad uses the malfunctioning Buzz Lightyear army, those many buzzes from the container part, as part of the conflict. If the leak scene indeed shows the Buzz army awakening on the island, then LilyPad may be behind the creation or orchestration of that event. Perhaps LilyPad's influence or manufacturing leads to the mass buzzes. That sets up a layered villain, not just an enemy to fight, but a system or gadget disrupting the whole life of these toys. So if we assume that the leak is actually genuine, the first thing that I see happening in Toy Story 5 is that Buzz will struggle to distinguish himself amid the duplicates that we see in this opening scene. The which one is the real Buzz question could drive tension between them and the actual character arc. He has to earn individuality, not assume it. Secondly, the isolation of the island may serve as a catalyst for self-discovery. Buzz wakes up alone, or with many of him, and realizes that his world has changed. Meanwhile, back in Bonnie's room, Jessie is now leading and must hold things together. So you have these parallel arcs, Buzz in isolation and Jessie in leadership back home, and then you have LilyPad's ascendancy in the third situation of the movie, who is threatening the toy world. As Bonnie's attention drifts away to LilyPad, the tablet, the toys have to face obsolescence. The Buzz army might be LilyPad's step 1, produce many obedient toys that distract or displace the originals, and then the original toys have to resist, reclaim purpose, and reconnect with the child in different ways to gain his attention, and maybe redefine what playing means. So this is basically going to be a tug of war between tech and original toys, and the attention is going to be the prize. The one who wins the attention of the child, Bonnie, gets to be irreplaceable and the favorite gadget of Bonnie. Lastly, the reunion. Team Allen has teased that there is a whole bunch of buzzes, as we see in the opening scene, involved, and that Woody returns in some capacity. So at some point, the isolated buzzes reconnect with Jessie, Woody, and the rest of the gang, and the story will likely bring all the pieces together for a rescue, a reckoning, or maybe both. So this is essentially what's gonna happen. In the first film, Buzz learns that he's a toy. Here, multiple buzzes challenge this idea that he's a toy and a hero. Here, he's gonna ask himself, if there are many like me, am I special? And there's gonna be this identity crisis going on with Buzz and these many buzzes that's really gonna be interesting to see in the big screen, to be honest. So why does all this matter? Well, because after all the 4 films that we've seen so far, each answering what it means to be a toy, what it means to belong, this appears to answer how do toys survive in the modern world? That's a compelling question. Pixar is answering it in a bold and symbolic way, in a way that Pixar does best. So what do you guys think about this leak? Does it make you excited about Toy Story 5?